The 2025 Texas Tech football roster is complete. At least that according to head coach Joey McGuire. In today's video, we're going to look at the high-level talent Texas Tech has secured in this transfer portal cycle, as ESPN just dropped their top 100 transfers for this past portal cycle. And let me tell you this, it's littered with Red Raiders. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. Appreciate y'all tuning in to today's video. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button for 100% free content surrounding your Red Raiders. Whether it's on the gridiron, the hardwood, or anything in between, we've got you covered right here on the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube in the Back to 12 podcast channel. All right, I don't really like looking at these lists or anything like that, but I'm making an exception here because we've talked about it ad nauseum here on this channel when talking about this Texas Tech football portal class and how historic it is. And that's not just something that we're throwing out there because, oh, this is a Texas Tech YouTube channel. No, go look at the numbers, right? On three, Texas Tech has a 100 index score, okay? The next closest to them is in the 60s. This is an historic class by every estimate of the imagination, right? So let's go ahead and look at where ESPN has ranked some of the marquee names in this portal class for the Red Raiders, and we will go from lowest to highest in terms of their ranking in terms of these players. See them on your screen right there. We will start with number 86 on the ESPN Top 100 transfer list. That tight end, Terren Carter. He is from Louisiana. In terms of where he transferred from, he is a redshirt sophomore, and I understand that he's 86th on this list. I think he might be the second player in terms of who I'm most excited to watch this year for Texas Tech. I think he has a chance to truly be Texas Tech's leading receiver this year in terms of receiving yards. I think that is a real possibility. He is listed as a tight end, but he has freaky traits for a tight end in the sense that he has wide receiver type skills at the tight end spot, and he is going to be a matchup nightmare for opposing defensive coordinators and an absolute weapon for new offensive coordinator, Mac Leftwich. You can see that on your screen. We don't have to go too far to find the next Red Raider. 85, Bryce Pollock. Yes, it is pronounced Pollock and not Bullock right there. You see it from Mississippi State. The SEC transfer has 2 years of eligibility remaining. He is a true lockdown corner. He was one of the top 10 best corners in the SEC last year by numerous metrics, whether it was his pass breakups, interceptions, and then you see it right there, a great stat from Olsen of ESPN. 0 catches in 6 of 12 games for the Bulldogs in 2024. He will be the premier corner for the Red Raiders in 2025 and a guy that I think has the chance to arguably be the best corner in the Big 12 in 2025. All right, we scroll up a little bit here. Don't get too nauseous on me as we scroll up. Just got to scroll up just a little bit, and it's going to be a familiar name for Texas Tech fans as it is Micah Hudson, number 58 on the top 100 ESPN list. A lot of drama there, right? In the sense that transferred away from Texas Tech, went to Texas A&M, believe the rumors if you want, whatever happened down there in that terrible city of College Station. Then he comes back to Texas Tech, and he will have to earn every snap that he gets next year, but the talent is obviously there, okay? Has not gone through a spring practice yet as a college athlete, so missed the one last year, obviously due to injury, missed this one because he was trying to figure everything out in the portal, but he is healthy. He can go into this camp, battle for a spot, and again, the talent is obviously there. He has a chance to get on that 2 deep and maybe make an impact, but nothing is going to be given to the former 5-star wide receiver with 3 years of eligibility remaining. We scroll up just a little bit more, and it's another wide receiver. This one, Reggie Virgil. You see him on your screen right there from Miami of Ohio. 1 year of eligibility remaining, and he just popped off last year. 41 catches, 816 receiving yards, 9 touchdowns, as you can see on your screen right there. This is a guy that is battling through some injuries right now, did not participate in some of spring, but will be good to go. Nothing to worry about. That, according to multiple Texas Tech coaches, he will be good to go, right, heading into fall camp. But he is a guy that I'm very interested to see how they navigate him in this Mac Leftwich offense because the skills are obviously there, but Does he play more in the slot, a 6'4" slot, or does he play opposite of Caleb Douglas on the outside? And don't forget the payday, obviously, when we talk about Caleb Payday Douglas here on this channel. Does Koy Aiken move inside? It's going to be a luxury for Texas Tech in terms of the skill sets that they have with their 3 top wide receivers as it stands right now. Payday is probably 1A. You got Koy as 1B. And then I think Reggie Virgil truly is in that 1C type situation. It's going to be a game-by-game type deal, and Mac Leftwich is going to find ways to exploit defenses with each and every one of them. Reggie Virgil is a guy that I'm excited to see how he's used in this Mac Leftwich offense. We don't have to scroll too far up to find the next Red Raider. That was the first guy that actually committed to Texas Tech in this transfer portal class, and that is Hunter Zambrano, listed as an offensive tackle. I think he'll probably play right guard for Texas Tech. At least that's what he's listed as right now. 6'5", 305, a guy that is really, truly one of the best offensive linemen, making that jump from the FCS to the FBS this year. Guy that played really, really well in his limited time against high-level competition. I think he's a guy that, you can see it right there, demonstrates good feet and hands in pass pro. Needs to get a little bit better when it comes to run technique, but I think he's a really solid addition for Texas Tech and a guy that a ton of programs were going after. I do think he shifts inside, though, and is probably going to be the starting right guard for the Red Raiders headed into the 2025 season. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. We've got a few more Red Raiders to talk about, but before we do, again, appreciate y'all tuning in to the videos here on the channel. Hey, best way to get your information about your Red Raiders, whether it's on the gridiron, the hardwood, or anything in between, like I said in the open, it's the best way is to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. The videos are 100% free. And for those that may be wondering, RC, you're not posting every day anymore. You're right. During the summer months, we take a little bit of a break here. I'm not going to lie about it, okay? I've got other things. I want to enjoy some time with the family, La Familia, right? So we'll be posting about 2 to 3 videos per week, but I promise you this, when we get into August, buckle up. We're going back to at least 5 videos a week, if not more after that. So if you want 100% free content surrounding your Red Raiders, this is the place to be. Be sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button. All right, let's jump into it and go back up. We've got 4 more players to discuss here as we scroll up on this list. And here he is, at least the first of the 4. Romelo Height, ranked as the 32nd best transfer in this portal class, according to ESPN. The Georgia Tech transfer, 1 year of eligibility remaining. This is his 4th school in his 6 years of college, okay? This is going to be a player, in my opinion, Romelo Height, where you feel good if he was your lead edge guy. That's not the case for Texas Tech. We'll talk about the other guy that is the lead edge rusher for Texas Tech here in a minute. But Romelo Height is a guy that, in my opinion, I think he's going to view this season at Texas Tech as a basically contract year for him. What do I mean by that? Obviously, he's got NIL at Texas Tech, but this is his final year in college football. He has to prove that he is a guy that should be an NFL draft pick. I think he's going to come in highly motivated. I think he's going to work his you-know-what off each and every day, and he's going to be a model of consistency on the outside and getting those reps in for that young edge group Texas Tech does have. Now, the best part for Romelo Height, he doesn't have to be the lead guy, and we'll talk about that guy here in a second, but he is uber talented, and I think a guy that Texas Tech is going to see immense amount of production from in 2025 in a Shieldwood defense. We scroll up, and speaking of the Shieldwood defense, this will be the anchor of it. Lee Hunter, he comes in the top 20, 19th overall in the top 100 for ESPN here. The redshirt junior, 1 year of eligibility remaining. This guy, in my opinion, maybe was the most pivotal pickup for the Red Raiders, because this is a guy you build your defense around, and everyone around him looks better because he's that stinking good, people. Okay? In over 3 years in the program at UCF for Gus Malzahn, he racked up 20 and a half tackles for loss. That over the past 2 seasons, right? In 2024, you can see it on your screen right there. Here in second team all Big 12 honors and finished with the best pass rush rate among all Big 12 defensive tackles. Crazy part is you've got another guy on your roster, transfer from Houston, that was 3rd in pressure rate in the Big 12 at the defensive tackle spot. So you have that. But Lee Hunter will be the guy in the middle of your defense that sets the tone and makes life easier for everyone on that defensive line, most notably the interior guys, but also guys getting to the quarterback on the edge. And again, we'll talk about another guy here in a second, but Lee Hunter, I think, is going to be the tone setter for the Texas Tech defense. You feel really good if you're Texas Tech, right? Like, your two best defensive players, in my opinion, are transfers, but then you bring in a guy, and when I say bring in, I obviously mean retain, a guy like Jacob Rodriguez. You feel really good about your defense as a whole, specifically your front seven, and Lee Hunter is a big reason why. All right, got to scroll up one more to find another Red Raider, and that is Howard Samson. Texas Tech has been searching for a really good offensive tackle, specifically a left tackle, for a long time. They found a mountain of a man in Howard Samson to come back to the Lone Star State. Actually started his career at UNT, then transferred to North Carolina. Now back in Texas at Texas Tech. He will be your starting left tackle, Red Raider Nation, to go into 2025. 6'8", 325, 2 years of eligibility remaining. He is a guy, in my opinion, that could be an all Big 12 type offensive tackle. And you think about Baron Morton not being able to stay healthy. You go out and you get a guy like Howard Samson to secure that blind side of Baron Morton. You feel really damn good about it. And he is a top 20 transfer according to ESPN. We got to go all the way into the top 10 to find the final Red Raider on this list. And it's the guy that, well, was the second latest ad for Texas Tech. And you see him on your screen right there. Stanford transfer, David Bailey. He got an absolute bag for the Red Raiders, and he's warranted in terms of he deserves it, right? 6'3", 250. I know this is going to get some people all out in a tizzy in terms of the comp that I see for him. Truth be told, and we'll look at this here a little bit more in just a second, David Bailey, when I watch the tape, reminds me of Micah Parsons. Like, that's who he reminds me of. A little bit more lengthy, maybe not as much build, but he's got that get off on the line of scrimmage, man, where it feels like every time he doesn't get to the quarterback, it's kind of a shock, right? He's that good of a player. And get him back on your screen here in terms of what ESPN had to say about it. You see it right there. Entered the portal late, but his stats have been absolutely insane. Produced 111 career tackles, 81 pressures, 22 and a half tackles for loss, 14 and a half sacks. And he has the opportunity to be an early NFL round draft pick right there. You see it on your screen. I've seen mock drafts have David Bailey for 2026 go as high as number 14 overall. I've seen multiple with him in the first round, varying from 14 to 32. Okay. This is a guy that truly has the chance to come in and be the best pass rusher in the Big 12 conference next year. And you think about the talent that he's surrounded by: Lee Hunter, Skylar Gill-Howard. You've also got Romelo Height, Jacob Rodriguez. You've got Ben Roberts coming back, right? Like, there's multiple other guys, but he is going to be in the most talented defensive group, specifically in the front seven, he's ever played with. You can't play David Bailey one-on-one. And if you do, you're going to leave Lee Hunter one-on-one, and you can't do that. If you do try and double those two guys, congratulations, you got one-on-one or a clear pass rusher to the quarterback afterwards, right? So having David Bailey on your team changes things drastically. And Texas Tech, again, according to On3, has the best transfer portal class we have seen in the modern transfer portal era, right? The Red Raiders went out and they handled business. Now they're going to have to handle business on the field. But this is easily, in my opinion, the most talented Texas Tech football team we've seen at least in a quarter century. Right? Just from a talent perspective. Doesn't mean it's going to be the best team, but talent-wise, you go out and you add 14, I think is where it ended up being when it comes to blue chip recruits, 4 or 5 stars, right? And you go add a guy, David Bailey, Lee Hunter, Howard Samson, the list goes on and on. And yeah, man, this is one of those deals where it's, it's time to put up or shut up, but it's cool to see Texas Tech really going all in, and they did so at an extremely high level, garnering a ton of praise, but also garnering and hoarding, it felt like, a lot of talent in the transfer portal. Again, you've got multiple guys on this list. You've got David Bailey, Samson, Hunter, Height, Zambrano, Virgil, Hudson, Pollock, and Carter, 9 Red Raiders make the ESPN Top 100 transfer list for 2025. Big time stuff for Joey McGuire and crew out in the 806. All right, I'm RC Maxfield, reminding you, as always, to stay in the know on all things Texas Tech football, whether it's on the gridiron or in the portal. We've got you covered right here on the Back to 12 podcast channel. And as always, stay safe in Recom Tech.